One of the verses I read in my devotions today was James chapter 4, verse 8. Come close to God, and he will come close to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. God is waiting for us. He's there for us. We've talked about, the last few days about how he watches over us, he guides us and directs us. But we have to go to him, because notice it says come close to God. We need to move towards him. We can't just sit there, we can't sit still and expect God to just come to us and force us to do anything, to see things his way. We have to make that decision on our own. God gives us the free will to do that. But God is right there. When it says come close to God, that kind of gives you the idea he's not very far away. It's like he's there holding his hand out, saying, come to me. Jesus said, come to me, all you are weak and heavy laden. Again, that idea of making movement towards him. We don't have to go very far because God is there to meet us halfway. When Peter walked on the water, and then he started to be afraid and he started to sink, Jesus was there. He held out his hand, but Peter had to grab Jesus' hand. It's the same way with us. We have to be careful that we don't just think that God's far away from us and he doesn't care, and we're just sitting there. We have to move towards him. We have to realize, that we have things that we have to change in our lives. We need to realize and understand that we need him, not only for our salvation, not only to get to heaven, but for our day-to-day life. And as we realize that we need him, it should motivate us to move towards him, to go to him, to pray to him, to say, Lord, I want to give myself to you. I want you to be the Lord of my life. I want you to help me with my problems. I want you to be the one that gives me answers to the questions that I have. We need to make it very clear in our hearts, not just in our minds, not just with head knowledge, but in our hearts, that we need God, that he is very important to us, that he is a priority in our lives. And the promise is, if we reach out to him, he's going to be there to take us in, to hold us close, to comfort us, to help us through our hard times, to help us to make the decisions that draw us even closer